Electronic Arts is a company that, well, we all know. We've all thought about how they could have done something better at some point, perhaps. Well, they're saying that about themselves. Battlefield 5 sales fell, well, short of what they wanted, let's just say. But it's not just Battlefield. And if it's not just Battlefield, what does that mean? Hi folks, it's Falcon, and today on gameranx, we ask the question, EA reports it is underperforming. Why is that? Okay, so like I said, Battlefield 5 has not met the expectations that EA put forward for it. There's a lot of reasons, you can probably come up with one yourself, but they're blaming the fact that they focused on a single-player campaign instead of having a battle royale. I don't like this reason. I think that's maybe a reason that indicates they don't really care about the quality of the game at all, but it is a massive multinational corporation we're talking about, and money does matter more than the quality of the product to them, whether we like it or not. And although I don't think that the shelf life for battle royales that aren't Fortnite or PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds for that matter is really going to be that massive. Yes, Activision made a multiplayer only Call of Duty Black Ops 4 with a battle royale, and they most likely see that as the reason why they didn't sell as much, at least according to what they said on this fiscal report, and they're quickly working on creating a battle royale mode, which will launch in March. I'm sure if it wasn't important to make it a profitable mode, it would probably launch maybe a little earlier than that. It's not that hard to make battle royale. Server infrastructure is probably the hardest part, and I think enough people have done it to where you can probably hire a consultant for that now, but they also have to figure out how they're going to word asking people for more money who have already paid $60 for a game. I do have to go ahead and take a little bit of an issue with their saying that Battlefield has underperformed. Battlefield has sold 7.3 million copies, and I can think of a massive number of developers who would kill to sell that many games. The issue is whatever they're spending that makes 7.3 million times $60 not enough. But although they're attempting to kind of shift the blame to a game that maybe disappointed people in very specific ways, it's not just Battlefield. FIFA Ultimate Team, which is long thought to be a superior money-making vehicle for EA over the other games, but maybe not as well hyped outside of its own circles. There's really been like a lack of innovation in that game. I mean, they've tried pretty hard with other games in ways that they haven't with FIFA. And when you come up with new ways to monetize a thing that doesn't actually get better, people notice that it's not getting better, but it's more monetized. Like, people aren't as stupid as companies think they are. I would even venture to say that people aren't stupid. We know what we want, and it's not a stagnant series that keeps finding new ways to milk us for cash, especially if it's the only new thing they keep finding. It's not just FIFA Ultimate Team, the mode, it's FIFA 19, as in 2019. It also has underperformed quite a bit. In fact, its sales are down 25% from last year, which is not good at all. On top of that, FIFA 19's Switch version didn't get a lot of players, and it's the Nintendo Switch, where just about any game like FIFA shouldn't have a lot of competition or trouble. I definitely believe there is a market for a soccer/football game on Switch, but they're not buying it. Like, Valkyria Chronicles 4 beat FIFA 19, and well, you know I love me some Valkyria Chronicles 4. FIFA 19 is a worldwide brand that is not limited to video games and makes billions of dollars with name recognition in households all across the world. So, I mean, good for Valkyria Chronicles. Well done, Sega. So we've got game sales down in two major franchises. What else is making things hard for EA? Well, two words: loot boxes. Star Wars Battlefront, yes, we've managed to get nearly 5 minutes into the video without saying Star Wars Battlefront, but Star Wars Battlefront has been basically the international disgrace for gaming. While it is a decent game if you take out all of the monetization stuff and rebalance it, which, you know, is what they did, it's actually a pretty decent game, but it's also Star Wars Battlefront 2, which happened, and people remember it. Now, loot boxes have been ruled gambling in a number of countries, specifically Belgium. The Belgian government's gaming commission decided that it would be illegal to include them in a game that was available to everyone. Why? Because it is gambling. They are gambling. Loot boxes are gambling. Oh, I hate loot boxes. I hate talking about them, and everyone hates them, specifically Belgium, like I said. You can't do FIFA points at the moment in Belgium. The reason? They're illegal. FIFA points are used for gambling. I'm willing to bet that was a bit of a dent because they probably spent a lot of time putting that into the game because a lot of the actual progression mechanics revolved around the loot boxes. It's frustrating. So you've got countries that block the main money-making thing. That's a lot of money that you don't get, and the press that they have gotten over this issue has been nothing but bad. No one likes loot boxes. You know what's weird enough? It's so much more forgivable when there's that type of stuff in a free-to-play game, and Apex Legends is, despite having all of that stuff in it, being regarded as good. I'm gonna go ahead and say because nobody had to pay $60 up front for it. It's my opinion that that's very funny, considering they make people pay up front for all of the franchise games, and then act as though 7.3 million sales isn't enough when they sink money into something like Apex Legends, which costs nothing to buy and it's only monetized by microtransactions. So, as much as I do want to say Apex Legends is actually great, if you want to give it a shot, it's something pretty different. As far as Battle Royale goes, they haven't done a squad-based one that works as good as Apex Legends, and I have to give them kudos for that, even though I'm kind of using it as an example for why their entire monetization scheme and price scheme seems to not work. Because if they can do this, all of the other things should be fine, but that just doesn't translate, does it? And also, let's go ahead and say Anthem, which I mean, I think potentially can be quite good. I'm still a little skeptical of it just because EA. To just back that up, the demo weekend, not so good. Considering Anthem is such a big game, they should have all of the server stuff much further ahead than it has been. And again, I'm guessing they spent so much money on this game, it has to sell a massive amount just to recoup the budget, and then the microtransactions have to be, you know, at a certain rate. And it's just, it sucks. Anthem could be great. I think very much it could be very good, but like I said, that whole EA factor, it makes me worry about what fate that game is ultimately going to suffer. And don't even get me started on Command & Conquer Rivals, because what a damn good game that is just totally freaking ruined by microtransactions and loot boxes. Where Apex Legends manages to be good because it's, you know, Respawn, and they retooled the Titanfall gameplay to be mechless, and it works amazing. Command & Conquer Rivals is just a good strategy RTS MOBA type, more complex version of any of the Clash game type games, and in every way it would be great, especially compared to other genre games like Clash Royale. I mean, there's a lot of ripoffs of Clash Royale, and if you call this a Royale clone, you're not describing it well enough, because they actually went above and beyond and made a better game. But leveling up is just pure pain. And all of these various business models are supposed to be putting them ahead. It's like, for whatever reason, despite the fact they're doing the things that they think will make them more money, they don't make more money. Let me tell you a game I'm looking forward to actually very much. Jedi Fallen Order is a single player campaign-oriented game, and there's basically no chance it can recoup the money they've spent on non-Battlefront Star Wars games, and I would suggest that they're probably not happy about the games that they spent money on and then canceled, and they've landed on this. Like, they have to make that money back somewhere. And Jedi Fallen Order, I have a feeling, is going to get whatever blame that they help justify to themselves the idea that they shouldn't make single player games more. They basically set these impossible goals and spend as if they're not impossible, and then use the fact that they don't make enough money to justify that spending. Keep in mind, they never say they aren't profiting, but are underperforming, which is key for we'd be making enough money if we didn't want more money. So why is EA underperforming? Because it's decided it's underperforming. It's decided the way it wants to monetize games, and because they can't do as well as their investors want them to with those strategies, they're underperforming. They could overperform by spending less on games that people are actually passionate about, both developers and gamers alike. But that's not the EA way, is it? Leave us a comment, tell us what you're thinking, and don't forget to click like. If you're not subscribed, now's a great time to do so. We upload brand new videos every day of the week, and the best way to see them first is of course a subscription. So click subscribe and don't forget to click the notification bell. As always, thank you very much for watching this video. I'm Falcon. You can follow me on Twitter, Falcon the Hero. We'll see you next time, right here on gameranx.